bit better organized. So first of all, first things first, I think I got, well, I don't think, I have a different solution for my audio. So hopefully that's better. The last live I did was terrible. So since then, we've upgraded the modem, the internet package, as well as the audio equipment for our live YouTube videos. So, so hopefully, it's better now. So I'd love it if you're watching this live right now, or even after the fact. Let me know in the comment section. Is this audio better than the quality that I've been doing recently? Hopefully it is. Hopefully the video quality is as well better. Also, I'm hoping that this should make it more mobile, which is great. But anyways, let's dive into what this video is actually about. And so this video, like a lot of the stuff I've been doing recently, is going to be about the idea of me being more open and honest with you guys. So here's the deal. 6 months, a year ago, I would have thought the idea of paying for coaching was just the most ludicrous, crazy thing possible. I would have thought, when I saw people paying, 10, 20, 30, 40,000, 60,000, 100,000 a year for coaching, for mentorship, I thought it was crazy, like literally crazy. And I totally understand that. OREC 2018, yes. I appreciate you mentioning that in the comment section. I would have thought the idea of spending all that money on coaching or for a guru or a mentorship was like completely ludicrous. And to be honest, I'm still not 100% mentally there, but my eyes have kind of broadened, or my perspective has broadened over time. And I think a lot of it is, I constantly talk about on my YouTube channel that you are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with. I've also talked about your net worth is directly impacted by your network. And so I think there's a lot of value in being very cognizant of who you let into your network, as well as even just like the attitudes and influences that you're letting influence you. And so one of the things recently, so just like straight up 100% being honest with you guys, I'm currently looking at maybe paying for some coaching. And so, again, Matt a year ago, or Matt like 2 years ago, thought it was absolutely insane. But even Matt today still thinks that's kind of weird. So the two things I'm potentially looking at is spending 13,000 Canadian on a wholesaling course, as well as looking at spending, this would probably be an either or thing, or spending between 25 and 50,000 US to be in Ty Lopez's inner circle or mentorship program, diamonds thing. There's a bunch of different fancy names that all the different platforms use. And so I thought, let's put it out to you guys. Like, what do you think about that? And so first things first, I just want to talk through my thought process on it. So I think it's absolutely insane, or at least today, my mind may change, but I think it's absolutely insane for someone that's brand new to an industry to think that just handing over a huge amount of money will guarantee success. So obviously, I think from my position's maybe a little bit different than your position would be. So take that into context. So the idea, if I was to literally light $10,000 or $25,000 of money on fire and it disappeared overnight, I would not be happy. It would definitely impact my net worth. It would definitely be a real percentage of my net worth, but it wouldn't destroy me financially. It wouldn't be sending me back or putting me into real hardship. It in theory would be money I could that wouldn't be that harmful to lose, I guess. So I just wanted to like kind of use that as the basis. Every single person's exact position in life, their resources, their ability to commit to such things is going to vary drastically. So even whether I decide it's right or wrong for myself to take on either or both of these courses doesn't necessarily mean that it's right or wrong for you. So first of all, this is going to be a completely judgment-free zone. But first things first, if you have paid for any coaching, if you paid for any online courses, if you paid for any gurus, any mentorships, any of those sort of things, whether real estate, FBA, or otherwise, I would love it for you to jump in the comment section and share your perspective. I see MM's telling me to go for it. He's a new wholesaler. He's saving up for a course because he knows he'll close more deals. And that's the interesting thing, particularly with the idea of paying for a wholesaling coach, is that wholesaling, at least in my market, again, every market's going to be different, but I know in my market you can definitely get significant, oh, sorry, my bad. The initials MM are hard to tell, but, and I guess I just naturally associate my initials are MM, so I naturally projected. But I appreciate you correcting me. So, where was I? Yeah, the idea with paying for wholesaling courses is simply, I'm already currently making money doing the wholesaling real estate. I currently got two guys that are working essentially on commission, full time doing it. They're crushing it. In theory, it's already a viable business. So it's one of those things where it's really easy to rationalize or justify the expense of that cost and the thoughts that, hey, if I get one or two more deals because of this coaching, it pays for itself essentially. And so I think the real counter argument to that, both, it's weird, the argument that a pro and a con, in my opinion, towards why you should pay for coaching is that by putting money on the line, by making a commitment, you're more likely to force yourself to get results. And so, yeah, that's honestly my opinion. So, like, I literally believe that if I spent $100,000 on something, I would almost force myself to get value from it because I'd have to rationalize it to myself somehow. I'd have to justify it to myself somehow. Whereas if I don't put any money up, you just don't value it the same way. I think it's honestly in my opinion, the same thing that's occurred with some of the content that I have on YouTube and on my other social medias. And so it's weird though, because like you're also like, man, this is just like, and this is almost just like a mental hack. And if I could just mentally hack myself to work harder, I'd probably get similar results as if I paid a coach or a guru. And yeah, I believe it's true because, there's courses in the past, like online courses that I've torrented or got copies from friends of, and, I literally never open them, or I watch module one and then just never watch again. And it's a reflection on the quality. Those could be amazing, amazing courses. There could be golden nuggets in there. I've heard people literally tell me some of the courses that I have just sitting on my hard drive. They're like, this impacted my business so much. But somehow, because I didn't pay for it, I don't value it. And I don't think I'm the only human with that issue, but I don't know how to force myself into a mental hack to get around it. So with the wholesaling real estate, it's a lot easier to rationalize versus, say, the Ty Lopez thing, which is a much bigger, fuzzier thing. But, so that being said, like the idea of, say, upgrading your network by paying money for it, what do you guys think about that? Does that seem insane? Does that seem smart? Does it just seem like, if you pay for it, you're going to force yourself to get value from it. So that's, there's that. I don't know. It's really interesting because my thought process is constantly evolving in a lot of realms, but in particular with this idea, at the same time, myself and Jeff Weibel have tossed around the ideas of being coaches, of being mentors, of having paywalls or content that costs money. And I haven't done it yet, but that's not to say I won't do it in the future. We've currently been working on a project related to our own wholesaling program. And the weird thing is, like, wait, you're going to pay someone for something and then potentially charge someone for something? Yeah, I know, it's really weird, but the vast majority of people in this space, I've seen most of them, they do end up paying for content first, and then they try and absorb the lessons and processes and systems used by that guru, mentor, or coach, and then try and cherry pick the best aspects for their own purposes. So I'd be lying if I didn't say in the back of my mind, I'm also mentally aware of that, and that may be driving some of my desire to buy some coaching or courses or mentors. But at the same time, like, I definitely see value. I know that there's value when I go out to networking events. I mainly only attend free networking events. I get tons of value from that. So, do you need to pay money to network in order to get value? You definitely don't. But could you be quickly stepping up who you're networking with? I don't know. It's strange because I do, in theory, understand how, again, even just creating a paywall to keep people at a networking event, and maybe will make them more serious and make them get more prepared for it. Maybe they dress nicer, they don't wear sweatpants, maybe they prepare in advance and think about, hey, what are some recent real estate deals, or what are some questions or some things I want to learn, or what's the sort of person I want to network with. Recently, Jeff Weibel, well, not that recently anymore, but in March, I think, me and Jeff went to Rain's Acre event, and so since I'm not a member, I think it cost me like $300-400 to attend. And it was definitely worth that from a networking perspective. I see a bunch of you are commenting. I really appreciate that, but I'm noticing my flow. I can't read and talk at the same time. I'm a terrible multitasker, so I really appreciate those of you that are commenting. I'm definitely going to respond after this video, so please do keep commenting. I really do appreciate your feedback. And more often, I want that to become a more regular thing on my YouTube channels where you guys are influencing me. And so I went live on Instagram earlier today, kind of teasing that I was going to do this video. And part of that video, I said, you know, if I do end up paying for one of these courses or any sort of content, as long as there's not an NDA saying that I can't discuss it or I can't vlog it, I will absolutely vlog my experiences with it. Because the weird thing is, I haven't even seen anyone document, you know, paying to get Ty Lopez's mentorship or paying the guy I'm thinking about paying for wholesaling coaching. So again, if you guys are familiar with any YouTubers or influencers that are currently going through some coaching or paid mentorship and they are documenting the process, I would love to know about it, because I would love to binge some of their content and just get their perspectives on what they're getting from it. So that's kind of where my thought process currently is that I'm really teetering on the fence. Literally in about 2 hours, me and Jeff are going to be jumping on a call with one of Ty Lopez's people to discuss whether we're going to commit to this program or not. I don't know. I don't know. We spent a lot of last night talking about it, and I can pretty much talk myself into anything or talk myself out of anything. So I'm in a unique position. And again, like, part of me also thinks that I'm potentially at a more privileged position to take advantage of some of this paid mentorship, simply because I could, you know, I could in theory take the next year off because of my financial independence from real estate investing and really commit to getting the most from either the wholesale coaching or the like a Ty Lopez mentorship. And I don't want to get too much into why specifically I'm drawn to his program, but at first I thought his YouTube stuff was like super cheesy and just was not my speed. I wasn't interested in it at all. But the more and more I've seen of him, you know, I saw a part of a talk he gave at Grant Cardone's 10X or GrowthCon, I forget which it was, but I actually thought it was really good, and I thought it was very poignant. And so the more and more I've consumed his content, you know, it seems relatively legit. He does do a lot of partnerships and sponsorships and things like that, and I don't know whether any of his online courses are worth money. I'm definitely not ever going to tell anyone to pay money for a course that I haven't personally consumed, because that just seems inauthentic. But there definitely seems to be people that are getting some value from it. You know, I've never met Tanner J. Fox, but I know Graham's hung out with him a couple times, and he seems like a decent guy, and I know he's got some interesting FBA stuff. I've seen some reviews, some YouTube reviews of his content, and it all seemed relatively positive. So I don't doubt that there's people that can create good information products, and it doesn't seem completely unreasonable to me to pay for information. You know, a lot of us pay for post-secondary institutions. You know, the idea of paying for college or university isn't unusual, so I definitely get that perspective. The idea of paying for experiences like vacations, everyone's very comfortable with. So, you know, is there anything wrong with paying for, say, an experience in education if it's packaged or sold to you via social media or YouTube? That being said, I definitely also have seen the flip side of the coin. There is a shit ton of fly-by-night artists that are just figuring out how to game Facebook and YouTube and Google ads, and they're not focused on their content at all. You know, guys that are saying that, you know, they wrote their course in a day sort of thing. And also, you could probably write a course in a day, and that course could be extremely valuable. That being said, I'd be suspicious, or I'd have a higher degree of suspicion towards that sort of coaching or guruship. But I don't know. Life's way more complicated than I want it to be, guys. Like, I wish there was a black and white answer on the paid mentorship. At least I definitely don't have a black and white answer for it. 2-3 years ago, I would have had a black and white answer, and it would have been like, no, that's a total waste of money. You're an idiot for even thinking about it. Where now, I'm definitely more open to ideas and experiences. Yeah. So, also, are any of you currently on the fence with some wholesale or with any type of coaching? And if so, you know, what's holding you back or what's making you interested in it? Because I definitely love for you to share your experiences. And so otherwise, because it seems like the video quality on this video is getting better, because it seems like no one's right now bitching about my audio quality either, I'm definitely hoping, I'm going to get back on every Sunday night. Time is always going to fluctuate a bit because life, but every Sunday night I'm going to go live on YouTube and just discuss with you what was going on in my week, discuss what my goals are for the next week, that sort of thing. So you can definitely see that this Sunday coming up. I missed last Sunday because the first Sunday I saw the quality of the video and it was just absolutely terrible. So I appreciate those of you that did watch it. It's my own content and I could barely watch it. So I really do appreciate those of you that watched it and commented meaningfully. But the idea of my Sunday night videos is I want to create like an accountability round circle. And I want to constantly be always radically changing. I think there's a lot of value in that. Or at least I think there's a lot of value for me. Again, everything I'm almost ever talking about on my YouTube channel is my perspective based on my experiences. Never meant to be a judgment towards anyone else. So yeah, so as part of that, I want you guys to also share on those Sunday night live videos kind of what your goals are for the week, the month, the year, and what you're winning at, but also what you're failing at. Sorry, just reading a quick comment here about Ty Lopez. He definitely is a marketing face. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that perspective. The weird thing is, I also kind of see value in a marketing face these days. There's actually some really great Netflix documentaries if you guys are interested. There's I think a 4-part series I saw on Donald Trump, and it's really interesting how much he faked it until he made it. And again, that was something that back in the day I would have thought was so sleazy, so inauthentic, and definitely depending on how much you're faking it until you make it, it definitely still is. But, you know, there's also definitely, I see it in a lot of my friends or peer group, as well as a lot of Canadians in general, and I'm sure Americans are just the same way. It's just I don't know you guys as well, but we're sometimes like the people that are actually crushing in life are often far too modest. So like part of OREC 2018, and I know you guys are sick of me talking about OREC 2018, but it's going to be an amazing real estate conference here in London, Ontario, the convention center. Go buy your tickets, use coupon code McKeever so we can beat Jeff Weibel. But part of the thing is a lot of these OREC speakers that I'm lining up, most of them are just like, you want me to talk? I've never given a talk before. And like, they start having this imposter syndrome. And so imposter syndrome is definitely real. I've talked about it previously on my channel, but essentially the idea is where, you know, you actually are doing shit, you actually have experience, you actually got results, but you still just don't trust yourself. You still downplay your skills, your abilities, your hard work. And so part of me understands more these days why or how people get into the fake it till you make it thing. Sorry, that was a weird tangent. But watch that 4-part series on Donald Trump on Netflix. As well, there's a series called Dirty Money, and it's so good. Episode 1 and 6, I think, were my favorites, but they were all just fantastic. And yeah, again, it's really interesting to see how some of these organizations and things grow and how they can spiral. And again, like certain people on that Dirty Money series were marketing faces that I think took it too far, where they started just branding anything and everything. Guys, if I ever start selling my own line of steaks, particularly because I'm plant-based now, you know I've gone too far, and please hold an intervention and stop me from becoming a sleazeball salesman. But yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. It's going to be something that I'll probably talk about this Sunday as well, the idea of whether paid coaching's worth it, whether I should be getting it. Because I guess a different aspect is a lot of you guys are really nice in the comment section, and a lot of you are really nice IRL, and so some people have been like, hey man, like you actually got a pretty good voice, or you got a radio voice, or blah blah blah. And no one had ever told me that until I started doing YouTube, so thank you YouTube for being nice to me, when most people say the internet's mean. And part of me is like, well, I've never actually even tried it projecting properly. I've never even watched like one tutorial on how to speak well or how to speak better, and all that stuff. And then I started thinking, well, would it be completely ridiculous for me to, say, take a couple college courses on radio broadcasting? Or would it be ridiculous for me to hire a voice coach or a speech coach or like this, that, or the other, or to join Toastmasters or whatever? Because these days I'm frequently getting up in front of crowds of like 20 or 40 people in real life and giving talks. And that's something that I've just organically started doing and really only binge watched a bunch of TEDx's in order to try and get better at it. And I wonder how much more potential or how much better quality am I leaving on the table by not reaching out to experts and trying to learn from them. So I guess part of me takes that and then projects it even further to the idea of paying for like a wholesale coach or a Ty Lopez mentorship or whatever the case is. So yeah, I guess that's just kind of the broad spectrum of my thought processes. That being said, on the flip side, the counter argument to it is, again, there's a law of fly by night artists. It's really hard to tell the quality. A lot of these coaches, when they get you on the phone call, the first phone call when they're trying to get you to sign up, like they're all just about closing you. A lot of them will tell you to sign up for additional credit cards. They'll do this, that, and the other. A lot of them definitely aren't wholesome. I think some have to be, right? The law of large numbers states at least a few of them got to be legit, I think. I hope I used that term right. But yeah, so I don't know. And at the same time, like, the weird thing is, part of me doesn't see a lot of value in post-secondary education. I think that the vast majority of post-secondary education you shouldn't have to spend 4 years in university to get that. I do understand that there's value in broadening your horizons, experiencing new things, moving out on your own. That's a great stepping platform, post-secondary education, that is. But I don't know if you need to do it for 4 years. Part of me thinks like, I'll talk about what I know. So CPA by trade, a chartered professional accountant here in Canada. And so essentially you need to go to university for 4 years, and then you kind of do 3 years of practical experience, and then you write a bunch of tests, or at least that's how it used to be. They've kind of tweaked it since I went through. And so my thought process on that was my 4 years at university was almost completely wasted. It taught me very little about real life accounting, auditing, or being a chartered accountant or a CPA. And so like part of me always thought that like realistically you should probably go to like 1 or 2 years of school and you get broaden your horizons. Maybe you get a sample of the different aspects or parts of the accounting profession because it's a really big profession. And then the rest should be like much more an apprenticeship. And I think way more, maybe there's certain things like, I don't know, maybe law and medicine, you need to go to school a lot longer for. But like, I know a lot of business stuff, in my opinion, should be more apprentice, more hands-on learning. So again, just my opinion, not saying that you guys have to agree with it, but at the same time, I'd love it for you to jump in the comment section, share your thoughts on whether post-secondary education is helping people, failing people, or you're indifferent towards it. Also, 17 of you currently watching this live. That's amazing. Thank you so much. But only 4 of you have smashed the like button. I would have thought by now, after years of telling you to smash the like button, it would just be like second nature. Seth jumping in the comment section. Thanks, Seth. Appreciate that. And actually, I just want to I should state to you guys how much I appreciate you more often. Literally, the comment section on my channel is the nicest place on the internet, I think. Yesterday I put up that video with my good buddy Dylan McLaughlin, and who's absolutely crushing it. And it actually got a fair bit of traction compared to my average video. I think we're at like 800 views. And there was like one comment that wasn't overly nice. And like, I was so taken aback. I was like, dude, I can't believe that you're being rude on my channel. Like, this almost never happens. So I just want to say, you guys are an amazing group of people. Wow, me just mentioning you smashing the like button just got me 7 more likes. Thank you guys. Although that also, it's a vicious cycle. Once you start teaching me that call to actions get results, I'm going to constantly want to call you to action. So, yeah. Anyways, I think that kind of makes sense as a point to wrap up this video. Again, if you guys are within driving distance from the London Convention Center in London, Ontario, it'd be super cool if you came out to OREC. It's the Ontario Real Estate Conference that myself and Jeff Weibel are hosting. I think it's going to be unlike anything you've ever experienced. We're going to have some amazing guests that I think you can really learn from. Guys like there's so many, every person you've ever seen on my YouTube channel will be there, and I think they're all amazing people. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have had them on my YouTube channel. But in addition, we got like Meet Kevin coming, and I really love what Meet Kevin's doing. I think he's coming from a very wholesome place and really focused on helping people and trying to help them learn for free, so that's amazing. Sometimes I think his videos maybe get a little bit too controversial for controversial sake, like his recent one on wholesaling. But at the same time, there are a lot of shady or bad actors in the wholesaling business. I think there's a lot of shady or bad actors in real estate in general. And I actually just think there's a decent amount of us human beings that are in general bad actors. And not that a person's a bad actor in every situation, but you know, when you're talking about a lot of money and it potentially could be made easy and fast, you're going to draw bad actors. So I definitely get where Meet Kevin's perspective was coming from. That being said, I think he was mainly talking about a certain profile of wholesalers and not wholesaling in general. But he's going to be at OREC. I think he's going to be an amazing guy, and I think he's going to do some really cool stuff on YouTube in the future. So I definitely think, if for no other reason, you should come out to OREC because of that. But as well, let's talk about the other famous Californian that's going to be coming out. Our buddy Graham Steffen's going to come out to OREC, and it's going to be amazing. Graham is one of the most authentic people I've ever met. Just a great guy, really friendly. He's really looking to help people with his YouTube channel, and it's been so much fun seeing him grow. So he's going to talk about being a real estate investor. He's going to talk about his experiences reaching kind of financial independence with real estate investing. As well, he's also going to talk about like social media and the importance of social media. How did I forget that? I think it's going to be a really interesting, unique perspective, because I think a lot of us real estate investors, again, we suffer from that imposter syndrome where many of us don't want to document or seem flashy or seem like we're humble bragging about our successes. But at the same time, if you're not documenting it, if you're not telling people what you're doing, how can you expect to draw joint venture partners to you? How can you expect people to understand how they can help you or your business if they're completely unaware of who you are and what you're doing? So again, just feedback for that. As well, we're going to have like my buddy Michael Rosehard, who quit the rat race at 21 or 24, became a millionaire at 24, and all through real estate investing, absolutely crushing it. We're going to have guys like John Kepler, who's Owen Sound's second largest, sorry, I don't know why I said largest, second largest real estate investor. So yeah, I think it's going to be tons of fun. I think you should come out. Honestly, if you do come out, make sure, if you come out and you've watched one of my YouTube channels, if you come out and you've watched one of my YouTube videos, definitely pull me aside at OREC just to say hi and let's quickly chat. I'm sure at times I'll be super flustered and busy, but just when you see me with a moment to spare, come up, say hi. I'd love it. And yeah, and even if I don't have a lot of time to spend with you one-on-one, tell me what you're up to. Tell me what you're trying to get from OREC, and I'll try and introduce you to one of the other speakers that maybe will have a little bit more time to help share their experiences with you or help troubleshoot some of the problems you got. As well, we're going to try and get some of the London on Fire guys to set up a booth in the trade hall at OREC to simply help you troubleshoot your financial lives. It won't be official financial advice because we don't want to get sued, blah, blah, blah. But they'll definitely listen to you and tell you what they might do in your position, or maybe tell you about what they've seen other people do. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this. Thank you, YouTube, for letting this video be better. I'm so glad that the video content seems better, the audio content seems better. I'm excited to start getting back onto live videos. As well, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I'm doing a lot more on Instagram these days. For every single person that follows me on Instagram now, you get a personal video DM from me. If you're already following me and you're like, this is complete bullshit, Matt, I've been following you since day one. Hey man, you can simply unfollow, refollow. I won't know the difference. I'll still send you a DM. So that's a way if you what's the point, guys? Thanks. Bye.